Hello, this is Mongol121 and this video is the first in a series on how to learn batch commands. All these commands work in CMD, so you can call it a tutorial on that as well. The first video is going to be about the most basic, perhaps the most important commands in batch. Echo, pause, @echo off, and CLS to make the infamous Hello World program, and then a little bit more. So without further ado, let's get going. So, you're going to need to open a text editor, Notepad, WordPad, Notepad++, or whatever. Otherwise, Notepad++. There'll be a link to another video on how to download that. And then once we've opened it, you can learn your first command. So here we go. Just opened it. The most simple command is echo. Okay. This simply displays text on the screen. Whatever you type after the command will output it onto the interface. So if we type echo, then hello world, it'll display hello world. So if we do that, there we go. Now we're going to save as a batch file. In Notepad++, there's two ways of doing this. You're going to go to save file, save as, and then save it to where you want using this, and then you can either save it as what you want, whatever you want. So I'm going to be calling it test, because we're just mucking around. We're not actually building a proper program. We're just learning things and stuff. So we're going to call it test.bat. Okay. Or the other way you can do it, if you just call it test, and then you go use the drop down and go batch there. Slight misspelling. Doesn't really matter, but anyway. So we've saved that, and here you go. Now you can see it's highlighted. It could recognize because it recognizes it's a command. Now, let's try running it. So, here we go. Now, what you should see is a black box pop up and disappear again. That's what you just saw. This doesn't mean anything in what you've done is wrong. You just haven't quite finished yet. When the program is starting, it's going to start when you double click it. Okay, it executes each line of code, which in this case is this first line, is this here. And then when it finds no more left, this part here, there's nothing left, it closes the DOS shell, which is what that's called. Because this code is extremely simple, it's just one line and one very simple command, it can do this very quickly. It quickly reads the command, puts it out on the screen, and then closes. But it's so quick we can't actually see it. That's the problem. But this leads me on to the next command, pause. It forces the computer to wait until the user presses a key. Then it continues executing the line. So, if we do that, because the command is executing on the line in the interface, it means we can still see the command we just have executed. So once it writes out echo world, okay, puts it on the screen, then it goes to the next line and writes pause. After that, we can still see the original echo. So let's just try that. So type it there after the hello world. Make sure it's on another line. Otherwise, it will just count it as part of this command here. So each line is kind of its own command. Well, it is its own command. So we're going to put it on the next line, and you can see it registers it as a command. Okay, and then I'm going to save it using this button or this button. Save all is all the ones along here. Save it, and then we're going to execute it. Now what you can see what happens is you can see a lot more now. Okay, what you can see is I'm going to explain what you can see. This part here, along here, is where the bat file is, so where it's executed from. So for me, it's C for computer, users, administrator, desktop, etc. And then you can see the command it's executed. So in this case, it's hello world. Then on the next line, it prints out hello world as we told it to. And then what it did, it's the next command, which is in so and so and so and so. We'll go on to why it always says that in another video. And then it says pause, because that's the command we executed. And then on the screen, it outputs press any command to continue. So if we do press this, okay, you can see as you just saw, I accidentally pressed a key. It ended it. So if we try again, it starts up, and then it echoes it, does the pause button, stops and says wait for any key, press the key and it goes away. So that's quite simple. Okay. You can now you can do a lot more. So you can add more commands. So now we can say, so we can add a hello YouTube. Excuse me, I'm going to retype that 50 times. You can see a hello YouTube there, which is the next line. So now it'll execute something. It will execute the first line, the second line, and then the third line, like so. But we still have to write a new echo because otherwise it would consider this as a command, and this isn't a command. Hello isn't a command in Batch. So you have to write the command for the command echo every time. So now if we try executing it, you can see it goes hello world, executes echo, hello YouTube, and then pauses. That's quite easy. You can even add pauses and stuff in between. So stuff like that, save it, type the first one, stop, wait for it, then execute the second one, and stop. Quite simple, really. But if we add stuff after this pause, like so, it won't echo it because the computer never waits for us. So you can see it echoes the first bit, echoes the second bit, and what it actually does, it does echo the second bit, it just never shows it, it goes away too quickly. So you can have a bit of a muck around with this, quite simple really, nothing that important. But if we were to write loads of stuff there, and eventually, stuff would build up, we don't really want loads of stuff building up over the time, okay? We want, to make it nice and clean, one thing at a time, just to make it simple for the person who's operating this program. And the command to do this is called CLS, or clear screen. So what you're going to need to do is, after you've got your different pieces, okay, you're going to want to write on a new line. So let's say it will echo hello world, pause, and then we want to delete the hello world and start again and write hello YouTube. So we type CLS, like so. So now what we'll do is do the echo, do the pause, clear the screen of everything that's on it so far, and then it'll go on to the next bit, which is echoing it. So if I show you, you can see it shows this on the screen nice and easy, and then starts again, and now you can see, you can't really see it very well, but actually that was hello world, and that's hello YouTube, because what it did is cleared the screen and then rewrote that bit there. It's fast to write CLS and pause straight away. You'll see what happens. It goes execute the hello world, pause. Now it clears the screen and pauses, and then it starts again. But you can see this stuff is still left here from before. After the CLS. So that's quite a simple command. Nice just to clear the screen when you need to restart, or let's say you've asked a question, the user's answered, entered the answer, and you've executed. You want to write another question on the screen, you CLS it, and clears everything out to make it look nice and simple. But also, there's another thing which makes it look nice and easy, and it's called @echo_off. When we execute this code, I'll just make it a little bit easier and quicker. When you execute this code, it's got loads of this junk here, which you don't actually really need. You don't need to see the commands. If you've got loads of commands which don't actually output on the screen, it will just list all the commands, and it could take forever. Okay, so but what you really want is just what you only really want. What the programmer wants the user to see. Okay, so you put it at the start of the batch file, like so. So you start at the beginning. It always has to be at the beginning. Well, not always, but it should be at the beginning. So it just affects everything else after it. Type @echo off. So @echo space off. Very simple. Save it, and everything after this now. This is like a setting command, such it makes a setting change in the settings or configurations. Now it will always put the echo off, and you'll see what that does. It doesn't really mean what you think it means. So if we run this now, you can see what it does. It's taken away all that rubbish, okay, and just executed, and it's just put out on the screen hello world, because we told the program to put that out on the screen. We told it to get rid of everything else. We did definitely tell it that. We overrode that and told it to put hello world on, and then pause will output that on the screen. Very nice, very simple, and it still works with CLS and stuff. Tweak, make it nice and simple. So it still works with CLS and everything, you know, very simple. You can see hello world nice and easy, and then it'll say YouTube because it's cleared the screen and rewrote it on it. So that's nice. So yeah, that's pretty simple really. That's all the commands. But what we're going to do is going to do a little mini project just to make you just so you can get used to everything. So we're going to make a loading bar, albeit a very simple one. The code you're going to need is this. We're going to start again on a clean sheet. You're going to have to enter this code, echo off, and then you're going to want to write echo loading, make the bar, make it only 3, and then pause. CLS, and because I'm too lazy to retype everything, 1, 2, 3, 4, like so, and then we just simply add 1, 2, 3, and then let's just put a done in there. Sorry. See again, that wouldn't have worked using echo. Stupidity. Like so. So that's that. If we execute this code, you can see it outputs loading bar, puts 1 bar up, press enter to continue, second bar up, third bar up, and then done. Very simple. So if we go through this code, what you can see it does is it goes echo off, so get rid of all that rubbish. Sets up the load, it says loading, and then sets up the bar. Now, pauses, waits for you, and then once you do, it continues on the next thing. So it clears the screen, gets rid of it, and outputs on the screen the same thing as here, except for this part here now becomes an asterisk. So it looks like one of them's gone up, and then it does the same thing here. So now it looks like it's another one being added, and here it looks like the third one's been done, and then it just says done. So that's very nice and simple, a very simple thing you can do. That's a little nice mini project. This is the end of the tutorial. I hope you've learned something. And the thing now to do is just to experiment with what I showed. You know, just muck around with echoes, CLS's, pauses. You can't really muck around with echo off because you only use it once at the beginning every time. I would advise using it at the beginning every time. So just write a program or two, then watch the next video, learn a bit more. If you have any problems, the best thing to do is just to search Google, because at some point someone's going to have had the same problem as you, and then someone's going to have solved it. You know, someone is going to be out there and have posted it on the internet. So just search. You know, you might have to do a little bit of trawling through Google. You know, going through page after page, but you'll find an answer, because I've had to find some really difficult stuff, but someone has been nice enough, you know, to answer me. Or if you need to go on a forum and ask a question there, but someone will help. So that's the end of this tutorial. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please comment, subscribe. Anything except for flames or nasty comments is obviously accepted and much preferred. That way it keeps me going. And I'll see you. Bye.